Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. We are here tonight with Peter from, I'm going to say Wurgilnõ because that's how it looks to me. How is it pronounced?
Well, that I'm not sure actually, because it's a very old word. It's a word which I found in a dictionary, which was um, about old Dutch languages, and this was this old section pronunciation, so like North German. So some say Wurgilnõ or Wurgilnõ, but your approach is more Italian, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm just like, it just kind of looks like that. So I'm like, all right. I don't know.
yeah. But it's old German, and it means body hanging on a gallows.
That's pretty, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's where the whole idea came from, because the whole project started around a thing which my father discovered. He does looking into a family tree, and he found some old documents about an ancestor of me, which was a bokkerij, which was a band of robbers here in this area, and also Belgium, which was said that they riding on the backs of goats and were serving the devil back in the 16th, 17th century. And he was convicted of being one of those goat riders, and he was hanged until his body fell off the gallows by himself. So that was the inspiration, and I was looking for a word which had something to do with that, and came up with that name.
You know, that's a pretty metal like meaning.
Yeah, it's pretty metal. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Even my ancestors.
yeah, like, woo, even my ancestors were metal before metal was metal.
Yeah, even before Ozzy came on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
So the music's really good. It
thank
looks
you.
like you just started releasing stuff last year. Is that right?
With this project, yes, yes. Called Mergelland, which is the part of Holland where I live. And the name comes from the stone which is in the ground, the chalk stone, which we call Mergel. And that's why the new album is called Krijtland, which is chalk land. And it started all there in 2020 during the lockdowns. And that became a little bit less of an interest for me. And then I started a new band in 2022. And it's called The Curse of Jig, which was more doom sludge. And I wrote some guitar riffs for that, and they were more black metal. And the rest of the band said, yeah, they're a little bit too black metal for what we want to do. And so I started reworking those in songs, and that is what this project became. But I'm making music since my 15th, and that's now 34 years ago. So I'm
You're old.
playing in bands. Yeah, I'm 49. Yeah. um, I started when I was in 1990, when I was 15. So playing in bands, and also playing black metal bands from 91. So it's like a, yeah, you could call it a midlife crisis, of maybe.
Maybe, or, just, I don't know that we could call it a midlife crisis. I think it's more of like, it's just in your blood at this point. I mean,
Yeah, it never went out. So I had a
yeah,
period in my life that I wasn't listening to black metal or doing anything with it, and listening more to electronic music or new wave music and stuff like that. And then in 2010, 2012, it all came back. And I started collecting like a madman, and start playing the music again. So and I
yeah.
felt more at home than ever. So that's cool.
So you like come back, it's like making up for lost time. You're like, I spent all my money getting all this stuff. I should have.
I finally got money because I got a good job now and I can spend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have that when I was a teenager. So that's a nice thing about growing up.
Yeah.
And still being able to do the things you want to do.
So who were some of like your early like influences into like black metal?
Well, I'm a child of the 80s, so it all started with me when I was, I think, 10 years old. I was more into stuff like New Order, Joy Division. I like that stuff, and I like Gary Newman.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this cable TV channel. We only had one, which was Sky Channel, and they did concerts every Friday. And they had a Gary Newman concert coming out. I was pretty psyched about that. So I watched that concert, and after that was another concert which I didn't know, the band I didn't know, and that was Venom with the 7 Days of Hell live in Hammersmith, and I was blown away. I was like, "Holy shit, what's this? This is more,
Yeah.
this is better than the guy with the synthesizer." And so we had this library in the village next to my village, and they had records, and you could get records there from home, put them on cassettes or whatever you wanted to do. You could keep them for a week or so. But the guy who all the records there was a metal guy. So 80% of the whole collection was metal. And so I went there and I just started grabbing everything that had a cover with a skull on it. So I knew Venom, so I took all the Venoms, and then I found, and then he said, you have to try a Celtic Frost, and you have to try a Battery, and because they had all that underground for that time. I think it's more underground stuff laying around there, and I put it all on cassettes, and played it, and I think my parents went crazy when the noise coming out of my room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the same time we had a radio program here in Holland called Varas Vuurwerk, and they were playing like later on the stuff, the whole death metal scene started, and all the grindcore stuff, Napalm Death, stuff like that, X Grinder, and I was hooked on that stuff. So that's how I became totally into the whole extreme metal scene, and I never left. Yeah, brief period in the 2000s, but very brief. But besides that, I never left. So it always stayed in my head. I always had tracks by Boltro or Napalm Death or Morbid Angel in my head, even when I was not into that music.
Yeah, it's really hard. So I'm about the same age as you. I was born a year later, so I'm 48.
Mm-hmm.
So grew up around the same time, and it was, for us it was a lot of the East Bay thrash, Metallica, Slayer, Testament, Exodus, all of those bands.
I also listened to, in that period, I always tried Maiden and to Slayer, of course, because I can remember Raining Blood was one of the first LPs I owned by myself, and which I got for my birthday when I was, I don't know, 11 or 12. And the first record I bought from my own money was Bloodfire Dead by Battery. And the guy in the record shop I was there with my mother, and the guy in the record shop said, you sure you want to buy that record? Because it's pretty brutal. My mother had something there. If he wants to have it, he should have it. And
that's
she knew what he meant. She knew what he meant, and I put it on at home. So yeah, but I love that stuff. So try to teach my children that stuff. So
so passing it on to the next generation is always fun.
One is actually, I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 sons. One is 11 and 7, and the guy from 7, he's totally into Iron Maiden and stuff like Amba and King Wizard and the Little Wizard and stuff like that. All when it's hard guitars and noisy vocals is okay. So
Yeah.
I actually heard more Iron Maiden for the past year than the rest of my life, I think. Because every time I'm in the car, he has on his own playlist on Spotify, and as always, I heard albums from Maiden that I never heard before. So it's pretty cool.
So yeah, so he's got the passion too. So that's
He's
good.
got passion, yeah. Yeah.
Is he starting to play like guitar or anything?
Nah, yeah, small hands, but I will try to hook him on a guitar or better a drum set because he's a little bit hyperactive. So I think a drum set would be better. There's
Yeah.
always a shortage of drummers, so
Yeah, that's the truth. I feel like drummers here are in so many different projects that, you know, I don't know how they have a job, you know.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was the same problem in the 90s when we started doing bass. We had guitarists. You could get 12 guitars in your band if you want. Bass players was a problem. I was a bass player, so that problem was solved for our bands. But drummers, that was a big problem.
Yeah.
We never, yeah. There was we had one drummer and he was playing in 4 or 5 bands at once because there were no drummers in our neighborhood. So,
yeah, no,
that's what.
It's, I think it's still like that, right? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
You know, you look at almost any drummer. I mean, I got to think, I've got a buddy who, I mean, I think right now he's only in 2 projects, but he was in, he was in 6 or 7, I think.
So
I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Oh, you can remember all this stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So how many instruments do you play?
I do a little bit of drums now. Most drums on my albums I program with a keyboard. But I bought myself an electronic drum kit so I could practice well. Also, 25% on the new album is now my own drums. I play guitar and I play bass, and I do the vocals. I do everything on the record, and some synthesizer, keyboard, stuff like that. They're off again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they went out.
When you think, I just have them, so it seems when you tick on them, they went off. So
yeah.
So I started as a bass player. So and then I got a guitar somewhere in the mid 90s, which hung on the wall for 10 years, and then after 10 years I picked it up and started playing. So I'm not a great guitarist, but the riffs that come in my head, I can record them, so that's not a big problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter how great you are, right? As long as you can translate what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think like Dave Grohl can't read music, but he can sure play a guitar all right.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So how long, obviously, right? You had an LP and a bunch of singles released last year. You've had a couple of singles this year. The new album, how long did it take you from the time you started writing until you recorded it?
Well, actually, I've got a very strange way of making my music, and that's the way I do it for the past 24 years. Because I had another project in the 2000s, which was more symphonic keyboard music, like soundtrack music, which I released some albums with, and I always worked from just start playing and record everything. So I have my own studio here, which I got together over the years, and so every time I go into that studio, I start playing guitar riffs, and when I've got a good guitar riff, I just hit record it. And that's how I build up my tracks, and so I don't have the problems with hanging around in rehearsing rooms all the time and argue with other guys about how a song should sound. It's all my decision.
Yeah,
which could sometimes is a problem because I had a pretty big writer's block in January and December. So nothing came out in those months, but mostly it works. And so for this album, I think it totally took me like with all the research for the lyrics and the stories and writing the music and recording the music and doing the vocals and everything. I think 6 months.
Okay.
In total. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I feel like some bands get out there and you're looking at a year and a half while they're writing and recording and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. Tool took a century or something.
Yeah. Yeah, was it 13 years, I think.
Yeah.
Which,
Metallica too. Yeah.
No, they didn't take that long to release music.
Well, when was I don't even know which one. The last one was the yellow one.
Yeah, 72 seasons, but I think.
Yeah, I heard it, but
yeah, I don't even.
Don't ask me any titles. I don't know which one came before that actually.
Hardwired was before that, and before that I think was Death Magnetic. So there was probably a couple of years, but there wasn't like 13.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They tour, of course. I don't tour, so I have more time to do my recording. So
yeah,
but it works for me. So
yeah, do you have plans to put together like a live band and go out and play?
There are plans. I was at the festival last year, Samhain Festival. I was there and I was doing flyers and stuff, and there were some people who had the album, and they really liked it, and they played in bands and other bands from Belgium, and they asked me if we could put together something and to do those tracks live. Okay, it sounds cool. Maybe wait until the second album because we got material then. But yeah, again, I have 2 guitar players now. Actually, I've got 3 guitar players if I want. I got a bass player, no drummer, and I don't see myself do the vocals for an hour. So I don't know. Maybe it's an idea, so maybe it happens. But when we're gonna do, if we do it, we would just do it for a few gigs.
Yeah,
and a few small gigs, and then it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's, those are fun projects where
yeah,
it ends up being more like a passion project than anything, and you go out and you record everything. It sounds exactly how you want it to sound, and then if you play out like, yeah, cool, but it's not,
especially when you record all the music yourself, you really have to convince those people to play it like you want, and I know a lot of guys who play great guitar, but they don't want to play in a cover band, because for me that's a cover band. It's not a band which made music by them together. The one guy wrote the music, and the rest plays what that one guy wants. And that's for me the cover band.
I feel like most bands are like that now, though.
Yeah, overproduced.
Yeah, the one, they've got 1 or 2 people. I mean, Metallica, right? James and Lars wrote.
Yeah, but I still think that the rest has their saying about how to play certain parts in the music. I don't think that Kirk Hammett can have the creativity to write his own solos or something. So, and in my case, it's just like this is the music. You just play like it's on a record, and yeah,
yeah.
We could do a Thin Lizzy cover band if we wanted. It's the same.
Yeah.
Thin
Lizzy cover band would be kind of fun.
What, sorry?
I said a Thin Lizzy cover band would be kind of fun.
Yeah, the black metal version.
Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah. So there's a band from the States, from Michigan, that are called Temple of the Fuzzwitch. And I gotta think, how do they describe their music? They call it blackened doom. So it's got like black metal vocals and a lot of like black metal undertones or overtones, and then it's focused on like in doom. It sounds really, really freaking good.
Okay, I have to check them out then.
Yeah, super heavy, super nice dudes too. Like it's really good stuff.
That is with the most bands. If you like a band, and especially the underground bands, and you meet them at the gig, they're always nice.
Yeah.
They're always nice guys. I actually never, when I go to gigs, I never met any band member which wasn't nice. So wasn't a nice guy, because they all live for the music, and for the people who like the music.
I have had some not so great experiences with some people, but
Okay.
you know,
Not here. Not here.
yeah.
There are
I
no
mean,
there are no egos in Holland.
yeah. Well, I mean, and you know, obviously, I don't know what they were going through at the time, so it could have been
Yeah.
anything. And
Well, I heard a story of a friend of mine who went to last week, and he had a great chat with I believe the guitar player, and then he wanted to make a photo with the other guys, and they went, no, we don't have that. So but the guitar player said, well, this is one of our first gigs in the tour, so they're a little bit nervous, and I can understand that.
so Jimmy, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't know which one he talked to, but there was one guy who was really nice and talked a lot with him. So
Yeah. So Jimmy and Gary. So I think Jimmy plays guitar, Gary plays bass, and they're both of them are super, super cool. And I think it's, you know, obviously it's a little different when you're on the road and they just,
you know, just started.
Yeah.
Just started the UK tour, and then I can believe you're kind of nervous if everything goes well. So
Yeah.
you don't want a guy with a photo at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't take a photo right now. Another time, please.
Yeah, next time. End of the
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah, please catch us on the last date. We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what are some of like your favorite live shows that you've been to?
Well, I have to say, I'm able to go to so many live shows at the moment with the kids and with my work and everything. So I went to last year. I went to Samhain Festival in Maastricht. I saw Wurgilnõ, which is a Belgian band, and they were amazing. Offski was there; they were amazing. There were a lot of bands there, which the whole weekend was great. So I'm turning this year. I already got tickets. Also, a few years ago was Entombed here in town. Entombed AD was one of the last weeks that he was alive, and yeah, that was amazing. So that was really great to see.
Yeah, that would have been a great show.
Yeah, and another maybe Halleruin, Dutch black metal band. They have a lot of energy on stage. They're really good, especially the vocalist swinging around with his bottle of red wine, and yeah, it's really crazy stuff. And yeah, there are a lot of bands.
I saw Mayhem for the first time a few months ago, and I was pretty blown away with that.
I never liked them. Never. not even the first. Not even Death Crush. I really think that sucks. Yeah, and the stupid thing is, my first album came out, and there were like a few reviews who said, "Yeah, sounds like Mayhem's Grand Declaration of War." I never heard that album. I don't like Mayhem. I don't like Burzum. I never liked them. I never. Yeah, I can have that stuff. I just don't.
Yeah,
I'm not into that stuff.
Yeah, it's different for everyone, right?
Yeah, you can love them all, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
And I remember around that time I was more into the stuff of like Rotten Christ and early Rotten Christ and Necromantia, and less the Norwegian stuff. And if it came to the Norwegian stuff, it was more Emperor and Slave, which I really liked, especially the split they did. I really loved that record. But the whole Mayhem thing and person thing and all the drama what came with it, nah.
Yeah, I'm not into the drama, but I dig the music.
Yeah, maybe I should give it a chance, but especially the later albums. But I don't like it.
Yeah, it was. You know, again,
I don't like the singer actually. I don't like what is it called, Attila. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his vocals.
That's fair.
Also,
and if you can't get past the vocals when you're listening to a band,
that's pretty. Yeah, or there should be an instrumental band. But I think Hallhammer is an amazing drummer for the stuff that I heard, and and also other projects that drummed. But for the rest, more.
Yeah. So have you seen? I guess you've seen Emperor.
Once, yeah. I don't know where, somewhere in Germany. Yeah, it was
I
great.
have not.
No,
I think they were.
It's getting more rare than Kiss these days.
Yeah.
So to see Emperor, so
Yeah, I was looking at going over to France to see for Hellfest, because they're playing one of the stages over there. Man, I'd really like to do that, but
yeah,
not this time.
Hellfest, that's a pretty big festival.
Yep.
Never went there because I think it's too expensive, but and too far away. We had to go a week or something. But I was on a vacation like a couple of years ago when my first son was, I think, 3 years old. Yeah, 2 years old. He just could walk, and we were at a gas station near after Paris, first gas station, and he was wearing a Motorhead shirt. It was this little blonde, baby boy walking next to me. I had a all shirt on. He had the Motorhead shirt on. And then some big buses came, and they were full of people going to Hellfest. So they came out the buses and were like, "Oh, see the kid there with the Motorhead shirt. Let's go take pictures." And some people actually thought that we were going to Hellfest with the kid, but we weren't.
Wow.
We weren't going to. Yeah, it could be because we weren't that far from the festival where we were, but that's my only encounter with Hellfest, actually.
Yeah, I've got some friends playing it this year, and I'm excited for them to play it. That ultimately, I'd like to be there to see them play, because I've seen them play on some really tiny stages where there's like 10 people there. I've seen them in with 7,000 and 8,000 people in a venue, and to be able to see them at Hellfest for the first time would be really cool. But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So you've got the new album comes out June 11th.
Yes.
Are you
The new single is coming up the 31st of May. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called The Pest, and that's the third and last single, and then 11 days later the album will be released. Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
Took me a lot of work on the artwork, so I'm really stoked to see the artwork. But I heard from the record company yesterday that the factory called in that they would send them off today to his address. So I probably have them maybe this week, maybe next week.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Be able to look at it and check out.
I know. Yeah. Do the pre-orders, and that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of attention this time. So
yeah. Well, I feel like that PR company you have is doing a really good job of pushing you out there.
Yeah. It's the first time I work with them, and I'm pretty. It's pretty amazing what they're doing.
Yeah,
because they're getting interviews from people I never heard of, and then you kind of check it, and then you see, oh, it's pretty big. Like yours, Jan. I listen a lot to podcasts, but I didn't know yours until this week.
Well, mine's new. I really just started it in December.
Okay, that's pretty new.
Yeah,
it looks professional, so that's cool.
Well, thanks. I think
it was the first time I saw a podcast on Spotify having footage, like real video footage. I never saw that before. So
yeah, me neither. I was like, when I looked it up on Spotify. I was like, oh, I'm on Spotify. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I've never seen the video before. Like,
oh no, I was in my car and I thought, oh well, check them out. Normally I listen to stuff like Into the Necrosphere or I Hate Music, stuff like that, and the Alan Averill podcast, Agitators Anonymous, and then well, let's check them out, and then it's with video. That's not good when you're driving a car, and so I had to put out the phone for a minute. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it's I do it because you know, like you love music, I love music. I just like talking to people because it's you can learn a whole lot about not only about people but about other bands from having these conversations. You know, like you can really dig deep in there. I had a good conversation with Gary Mader from I Hate God, and
I heard that one actually.
it made me dive into a lot more of the noise.
Oh yeah, he
genre.
was talking about the whole Japan noise scene and like
Yeah.
I actually we did early 2000s here in Holland with Japanese noise artists and MSBR and a few others. And I was on that time. I was on an Austrian record label called Steinbang Records, and they did a lot of Japan noise. So I knew the scene a little bit. So
Yeah.
they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's the cool thing about noise, right? Because it can kind of go either way. It can either be really palatable or not palatable at all.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. When you have like Atmosthetians and this German guy, that's more like a trance kind of stuff. Like you're getting into a sort of a trance, and then you got the Japanese stuff, and that can be on the one side very drony, on the other side very noisy and very hectic. And yeah, sometimes some stuff's pretty cool actually to listen to.
Yeah,
It's not something to do when you have a romantic evening with your wife or something. But
right. That's the truth. We've got a band here called Bad Wires. Now they're a noise band, and it's probably one of the best live shows. Right? They are so energetic, and all the musicians are fantastic. And to talk to them, they're all super, super nice and humble. And it's just like they're actually playing Friday, and I'm pretty stoked to go see them Friday night. Last time, who did I see him with last time? I think I saw him with this band Child Bite out of Michigan a few months ago. Really, really good band. I think Child Bite is on Housecore Records, which is Phil Anselmo's label.
Oh, okay, yeah. I used more know that stuff because he's switching a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. He just kind of does a little bit of whatever tickles his fancy, I think.
Yeah. He had a black metal band, I believe.
Scour
Still has that one, or
yeah, Scour's still something. I don't know that they I don't know that they're not performing right now, but it's still a thing. They I think he's so busy with Pantera and that. And obviously they've been writing new Down material.
I saw a documentary about sludge metal a few months ago, and it was mostly about him in his backyard in a garage box or something. They were playing with some stuff.
Yeah, not in what Nosferatu's lair, I guess.
Yeah. That was also there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys, I think, that just kind of does a little bit of whatever tickles his fancy. You look at Super Joint, and then Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, and Pantera. It's
that band was also there. Yeah, Phil Anselmo and the Illegals. Yeah. That was also in the documentary. Yeah.
I took when Slayer played here on their last tour. It was
probably last tour.
Well, their last tour before whatever happens in the future.
They become a new Kiss.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. So it was Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, Ministry, Primus, and Slayer.
Oh, that's pretty cool setup, actually.
Yeah. Well, like I was like, oh, Primus, that's like weird to put in this mix.
I've seen them once, and they were amazing. So I think I was 18 at that period, and I was just really getting into the bass guitar, and then you see the guy, and you just want to give up, actually.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, their live show was fantastic. I really expected to be like let down, I guess, a little bit, just because it was like heavy Primus heavy, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's a cool thing to have it like that. So
Yeah. No, it was, I, I expected to be let down. I went in with an open mind and was blown away. Like I like Primus. I just
mm,
wasn't sure how to feel about that bill. I took my daughter to that show. She was I gotta think, she was probably 12 at the time.
okay. Yeah, that was a good
And
day.
yeah, it's a great age to do it. We're like
Yeah.
watching, the Illegals, they're playing they're doing a Pantera set and they get done and I take her out to go to the bathroom and she's like, respect, walk. And I was like, all right, that's cool.
Another band I never liked, actually, but okay.
Oh, you didn't listen to
No
Pantera?
Pantera. Never.
Mm,
I'm sorry, I'm European.
yeah, I don't know how it translates over here or over there. Obviously for us, right? Pantera was like huge. It was, such an influence on the metal scene.
Yeah, maybe for the upper part, um, the more casual metal scene, but for the underground scene, I don't. For me personally, not at all. So
No, you're probably right.
I have it with a lot of bands. So maybe also not a good thing when you're doing a blind interview to say that you like Primus, but okay.
Whatever. Like I think,
I never did the true or untrue stuff either. So fuck
yeah.
'em.
I mean,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, right? If you can't like what you like, then what the hell's the point?
yeah. I like Nick Cave, so
Yeah.
and stuff
There's
like that.
I think all types of music is
Yeah,
there's good music everywhere, right? So
there's actually no wrong music. So somebody told me once, and there's no bad music in the world. If there's one person who liked the music, good music,
yeah. Yeah,
even
it
as well.
was I think what was told to me was it doesn't matter what or how you play your music, there's someone out there that's gonna like it. You just got to
Yeah,
find that person.
yeah.
So
That's true. That's true.
yeah, everyone's got their
And
stuff.
the fact that I don't like Pantera or Mayhem or stuff like that doesn't mean that it's bad music. It's just my taste,
Right.
and
That's it.
nobody just should give a fuck what I think. So
And if they do, who cares? Right?
yeah,
Like e- everyone, like you said, man, everyone's got their own taste and it's okay. Like you can
yeah,
like what you like. Doesn't matter what anyone else says.
yeah. So, in which part of the US are you?
I'm in Kentucky.
Uh, where is that?
So kind of like I'm in like the Midwest.
Okay,
Uh, well, they call it the Midwest, but I'm really close to the East Coast.
okay. So,
So,
which big city is in your?
uh, so I live in
I,
Louisville.
I know Louisville. Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
I heard of it. So yeah,
Probably
cool.
either because of horses or bourbon.
I don't know, maybe some TV series or something. I heard of it.
Yeah,
So
probably.
yeah.
Yeah. So I live in Louisville. I grew up in Detroit and kind of moved all around and ended up here. And I've been here for, I'll just say like 25 years at this point.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I always lived in the south of Holland, so
Oh, yeah.
we're like the unwanted child of the Dutch kingdom. So we just joined and like 150 years ago. So and we still don't feel. I think the majority still doesn't feel Dutch at all. So
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's probably a lot like us moving to another city or another area, right? Like,
yeah. You got the whole state thing. Huh? We got it with yeah. Holland has provinces, which are like 13 provinces, and every province has somebody called a commissar of the king, which is like a representative of the king in that province.
mhm.
Except Limburg, where I live, we got a governor.
Okay.
So it feels a little bit like we're it's more an annexation than being part
Yeah,
of the
that's
country.
weird.
But yeah, we're different. Our part of the country always had like we had the Romans, the first people who lived in the Netherlands. But now the Netherlands were actually here in my area where I live. First farmers, because the rest of the country was just swamp and water, and we live much higher than the rest of the country because we got the Ardennes right behind us and the Eifel in Germany. So there are a lot of hills here and it's higher ground. And so the first people who were actually from Ukraine settled here, and they were the first farmers. And the Romans came, and the Vikings came, or the Norman, and French, Spanish, French again, and the Germans, of course. And so we always occupied or part of some strange country far away. We were Spanish country. We were Austrian. We had been part of Austria, which is like 800 kilometers from here. So, and now we're Dutch. So it's always something else.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what we are, like, at all.
Now, yeah, Indian territory.
Yeah, we're like we're just a big mix of like everything, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's true.
it makes it interesting when you go to a show. It's like my favorite thing about a show is like you walk in there and it's like there's no outside world, right? You're all there for the
Mm, yeah,
same reason. Enjoy the music, have
one family.
yeah. Yeah, which is
Yeah, here because I live in a part of Holland which is very small, very narrow. There's one part here, just a few miles from here, which is just 3 miles wide, and the one side is Germany and the other side is Belgium.
oh,
And then it's 3 miles Dutch, and then you get into Belgium. So when you go to gigs here, you get a lot of German people, Belgian people. So most people here speak fluently German and English and Dutch, of course. And that makes it always interesting because we can go to gigs in Germany or Belgium, and they come to our gigs, and so you get a lot of friends and from those parts. That's cool.
yeah, that's pretty cool. We the only way I can relate to that is like in from Detroit, you could go to Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a few minutes away, 30 minutes or something.
Mm.
So we'd go over there to the bars because you could at that, way back when we didn't need a passport to go across the border. And it was you could drink at 19 there, whereas like in the
Oh, yeah.
US, it's
Oh, you got
21.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's 18. So,
Yeah.
but I actually was hired in a bar when I was 14. So,
Yeah.
which was a hard rock cafe in down next to us.
Yeah. That's the thing though, especially when you get into like the punk and metal communities, right? Like when you're younger, you spend a lot of time in the bars,
Mhm.
going to see shows, and eventually they know you and they're serving you, and you're like, I'm 15, getting a beer or whatever.
Yeah, they asked us once because we were always after there was like in 89, 90, 1990, there was this venue here, which was called the Boerderij, and which had all the bands. Like saw Paradise Lost there with the first tour. I saw Entombed with the first tour. Uh, um, Autopsy was there. All these bands were there, and after that we all went to the pub, to the Hard Rock Cafe, which was a few miles down the block. And then they asked us once, are you it was you 18?" And we said no. Okay. And then he gave us the beer, and he said, "Yeah, I have to ask." So I did that, and after that, he never asked again. So
That's hilarious.
yeah, it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, and then we went from 8 went to Dynamo Open Air, and always with buses from that cafe. So we were drunk when we were in Eindhoven, which is like 45 minutes, and we were already drunk when we arrived there with the buses. So
right on.
It was a pretty cool time, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like there's a couple of bars that do that type of stuff now. Like we're doing a lot more all ages shows locally, which is nice because it helps really pack out the shows. Sometimes you have to wonder though, right? Like there's one bar we go to, it's known to be a big Coke spot.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so you got kids
that,
running around and people with white all over their face. You're like, what the hell are you doing?
No makeup.
Right. Like,
Yeah,
like, dude.
the whole rock thing sucks, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. There's kids running around doing their thing.
Yeah. Why you
But
need it? You got the music on stage.
yeah, you know,
It's
again
not
though,
a,
right? Like everyone's got their own thing, whatever that is.
yeah, okay, but it's no fucking techno party.
Yeah. Right. No ecstasy and cocaine going on there.
No. We've got our big parties here, which have a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a sober guy, so I don't drink or anything.
I drink some beer sometimes, but that's it.
Yeah. No, I went to a show. Actually, I just quit drinking a few months ago, and I
Okay.
went to a show, and it was we started drinking really early, and we got to the show, and like I don't know, we were doing shots and margaritas and beer and just kind of throwing everything in there, and I don't remember the second band or the headliner. I remember the opener, and that's it. And
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, I was like, got the next day, I'm like, oh shit, I think I need to like take a break because I wanted to see the headliner a lot, you know?
Yeah, that's mostly the band you're there for, and then so you're not able
Yeah.
to see them because you're somewhere in a corner dying in your own puke.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
They said I was actually there for most of the show, and then headliner like took the stage, and about 2 songs in, I disappeared, and they come to find me around the end of the set, and I was like sitting there drinking water and eating tacos. So
Okay.
yeah, so I wasn't puking at least.
Yeah. At least you had something in your stomach.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Laying a foundation.
Yeah. So what's your hope with the release of the new album?
Well, I hope we sell a lot of CDs. Because the record company is putting out a lot of stuff at the moment that really needs a break when it comes to selling the stuff, because he puts out a lot of money into that, and I really hope that this release is getting a little bit more pumped because of the better PR we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I haven't seen any reviews yet. And have you heard it?
I've heard some of it,
Okay.
and I like it. I don't think I gotta think. I listened to a lot of a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to think like if I've listened to the whole thing. I feel
The
like I have.
Dutch stuff. Dutch vocals. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I have. Because I just listened to it the other day, and I was like, oh, I really fucking like this, because I'm not listening to a lot of black metal now, so I've actually been listening to like a lot of doom.
Mm.
So
Yeah, me too.
To hear some black metal, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I really
yeah.
like it.
I'm actually doing the next thing I'm going to do, because now this record is finished, and I have to be creative. Next thing I'm doing now is actually a doom band with a singer from Belgium, which plays band Nunder, and we're doing a doom project. We're working on that now, which is called Vergankelijk, which I don't know the English name for it out of my head, but it's about it's going to be, we planned 3 albums, which the body, the soul, the mind, the body, and the soul. And the first album, The Mind, we are working on that now at the moment, which is going to be about stuff like dementia and Alzheimer, which is actually his specialty because he's a doctor, which is specialized in dementia. So I really like that approach. He said it's something else than screaming about Satan. So
Yeah.
let's do that. And we're working on that at the moment, and it's going to be released, I think, around November.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So I want to hear that. I
Yeah,
like.
it's what you said. Those guys, the Foss thing you told me about a couple of moments ago.
Temple of the Fuzz Switch.
Yeah, it has also still has that black metal thing in it, but it's much heavier, much slower. It's 90 or 80 BPM, so I'm much slower drums, and has some. It's pretty doom, and has also some maybe some sludge influences in there, and yeah.
Right on.
Until now, it's
I like that you guys are doing a mind, body, soul like trilogy.
Yeah, I had the idea, and then I recorded one song, and I sent him that song, and because he's doing reviews for a big magazine here in Holland, and he was going to do the review of my new album, and I sent him that song, and he was like, "Oh, this is fucking great. What is it?" And I told him the story, and then he said, "Can I come over?" Because he lives like 20 minutes from me in Belgium, and I said, "Yeah, come over," and he came to my place, and we talked about it, and he was like, yeah, my profession is, I'm a doctor in a hospital, my profession is dementia, so this is like putting my work into my music, and could I do the singing? Yeah, of course you can do the singing if you want. So at least I don't have to do it again. So it doesn't test, so all my music sounds the same, and so he's going to do that, and talked to some labels, and there's a Belgian label who wants to put out a single somewhere maybe in October or so, with 1 or 2 tracks, final single maybe, or late cut single, I think we was talking about. And then the German label Fetzner agreed of doing an album, so I'm really looking forward to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. I think your things went out again.
Yeah, they're out again. Oh, yeah. You still hear me, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's really cool. I mean, I'm a big vinyl guy, right? So you put that single out, I gotta figure out where to order it from so I can order one.
Yeah, I will manage to get you one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big vinyl guy too, but I try to the whole Wurgilnõ stuff on vinyl, but it's pretty damn difficult to find a label who wants to put it out. I'm maybe with this one is actually a little bit maybe too long playing time to put on vinyl. It's 53 minutes. Yeah, it should be possible. We have to figure out how, but it's just impossible to. And you find there are a lot of bands who do that, who have the debut album on vinyl, and this is my second one, and I still can't find anyone. So
Yeah.
I try, but maybe next time. So or maybe there will be a label now which say we can do it on vinyl. So
yeah, maybe you find a label that you can license it to that'll do the vinyl.
I'm going to do the first album in Colombia now at the end of next month. I think it will be released. Yeah. Because we had some problems with the whole postal situation. When you send a CD to South America, it's too expensive for those people. They have to pay like 10 euros for a CD, and then they have to pay 12 euros for the postage. It's ridiculous. And so I reached out to a guy here in Holland who has a lot of contacts in South America, and I asked him, "Can you find me a label who is trustworthy to release that album for South America?" So he's found one, and so we did the first album plus the EP, which came out last October, on one CD, and that's now going to be released in South America.
Right on. That's exciting.
Yeah, pretty
So,
stoked about that one.
yeah, for sure. Like, it's crazy looking at like shipping rates to other places. I mean, some of those places you're just like,
Yeah, because the new album will also be released on tape in America by Rotting Sun Records. He did the other two also on tape, and he asked me if he could do the third release also on tape. I said, yeah, just go on, because it's ridiculous if I have to send a tape which costs €8 for 16 euros to the US,
yeah,
and you have to pay double to get the fucking tape. So
yeah.
just ridiculous.
Yeah, but like the accessibility of, the internet, because we grew up around the same time,
Yeah.
back when we were kids, it was you were part of the mail underground, you had to send tapes to everyone. There was no, hey, I'll
Yeah,
send you over this
tape trading.
MP3. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of tape trading, right?
I really missed that time actually,
Yeah, me
because
too.
the contacts were so much better than these days. Because when you don't uh, answer within a day, then people are getting angry and stuff like that. And then you were waiting 2 weeks to get a letter back, and then, oh, he has a list. Oh fuck yeah, I want to have that. I want to have that. And
Yeah,
yeah, it was an amazing time. And I really hated that my kids will miss that kind of stuff, because they grew up with an iPad and with a telephone and everything, with a cell phone and everything, and
yeah,
we didn't have that shit. So, and we didn't miss it either.
no, we didn't miss it at all. And
No.
it really helped us build relationships with people,
Yeah,
because
which still hold until today.
yeah,
I still meet people on concerts which I haven't seen for 30 years, and they're still like, "Hey, great, we did tape trading back then. You
yeah,
remember?" Yeah, of course I remember. And that still happens. So yeah, that's cool.
yeah, that's so freaking cool.
It's
I love
better than having 2,000 friends on Facebook.
yeah, 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 because those, like, most of those people they're faceless, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's no real connection there, and
yeah.
it's tough, I'll bet we could get another, like, some tape trading going on underground.
Tapes are back, so why not?
Yeah, yeah, they are
So,
back.
yeah,
So crazy.
yeah.
I
I
wish we
still
could do it
still
with
have my
vinyl.
whole collection, so
Oh, do you?
yeah.
I probably I'm probably down to about 30 or 40 tapes now.
I've got a few hundred standing here in my living
Mm.
room. So
Yeah,
yeah, the vinyl also. The thing with the vinyl is actually it's getting so fucking expensive. It's crazy,
yeah.
and I don't understand that a new vinyl record of like say the new Immortal has to cost like 29 euros and $30, and here and you buy an underground record for 15 or 17.
Right.
I can understand that. So
Well, I think a lot of the, when you get to like the bigger artists, right? They're supporting a
yeah, then
lot more people.
yeah, of course, but still, you want to sell your music, and I understand that some prices, especially for the production, go up.
Mhm.
They don't sell them at all, and then a few months later, you see them in sale, and you buy the record. You buy it for. Actually, I bought two of the Last Immortal, and one is a gray one, I believe, and one is a green splatter or something, and one is the more rare one, and that I bought for like 17 euros, which was already on sale. And that's the one which was the rarer one,
Yeah.
and which is going on Discog for I don't know how much. I think 40 euros or something.
Oh, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm that guy that I do the same thing, right? I'm like, oh, I really like this band and this album, so I'm gonna buy every variant that I can find, and
Yeah.
you
I did
know,
it a few weeks ago with the Ritual for Dead Hand. It's a Belgian black metal band, and they had like 4 or 5, now 6 different vinyls from the first 2 records, and the record company was stopping with selling black metal, so they were putting everything in sale, and they were going like those albums were going like for €8, €9. So I bought everything,
Yeah.
And so now I got six records of Ritual of the Dead Hand.
Yeah.
And
Does your wife ever ask you, why do you have
well,
so many?
well, actually, when I opened the package, she was standing next to me and she said, "Hey, they're all the same." So it's like, yeah, but no, not all the same. Look, this one is black and this one isn't. So now she has her hobbies and I've got my hobbies. So
Yeah.
I respect each other for that.
Yeah, that's funny. My wife, she sees, like, I'll do the same thing, like get a package and it's, you know, three of the same album, but different variants. And she's like, why?
Why?
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this record
I
is this
sometimes ask
color.
myself that same
Yeah.
question. Why? Because we want to have everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are hunter gatherers.
Yeah. That's it. Like, I worked for this. Oh, it's mine.
Yeah, I don't want one berry, I want all the berries.
Right. That's funny. All right, Peter. I
Yeah.
greatly appreciate your time tonight. Thank you. I can't wait for the album to get released. I want to see I'm expecting to see some really good reception to it. So I hope it sells. I hope it sells out quick.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, man.
Thank
Have
you for the
yourself.
interview.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great night.
Yeah, same.
See ya.
Bye.